Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's not morning right now, thank goodness. Morning was rough today. I stayed up pretty late last night working after a full day of working, and then I went golfing last evening, and oh my, it was just a big day. In fact, I was so busy. You guys are going to see naked nails today. Yeah, I didn't even have time to do my nails. Oh my gosh. So, it'll be a first ever for a Facebook Live, naked nails. Hello. So good to have so many of you. Welcome. I have cards to show you. Pretty. You're going to love them. I got some pretty cards in my mailbox. So I'll get those out here in a second, and we're going to make sunflower cards. So the sunflower card giveaway is going to be the denim ribbon. I'm sure that many of you have seen the denim ribbon because it's been in our catalog for a few years, and it works so nice with the Misty Moonlight new in color, so you're going to love it. All right, we have a lot of joiners today. Welcome. Maybe 1 o'clock is a good time. Nice to have you here. Oh yes, Terry's catching me live. Some of you are sharing. Hello. All right, so let me take another sip of water. Past coffee time. And we'll get started. The first card I want to share with you actually uses a sentiment from the stamp set that we're featuring today, which is Celebrate Sunflowers. And she used it with the stamp set called Beautiful Friendship. This is a card from one of my downline members, Grace Ball fans, and I want to share it with you. She made this for a challenge that we did in our group, and the challenge was simple stamping. And my team members had so much trouble with this because, you know, they're not used to just stamps, paper, and ink. They are used to lots of layers and embellishments, and yeah, it was a good challenge. So I had to reject quite a few before some of them got an acceptance on their challenge because they just couldn't stop themselves from adding things that weren't stamps, paper, and ink. All right, so here is the first card that I got in my mailbox, again, from Grace Ball fans using the Beautiful Friendship stamp set, and then the sentiment, as you can see, is from Celebrate Sunflowers. It's really pretty. I love the colors. We've got some really pretty Magenta Madness on there, and Just Jade, and then, of course, the sentiment is in black, so it really stands out. And then I think it's Highland Heather is the other color. The second card I got is also from a downline member. This one uses the Snowflake Splendor Suite. So if you love this card and you want to learn more about that product suite, you'll find that in our new holiday catalog. It's not a holiday catalog. Why can I not remember to say it right? It is the August through December mini catalog from Stampin' Up! For 2020. Here it is. Isn't it gorgeous? So my downline member, Dawn Michaels, created this really pretty card and just wanted me to have it. And you can see it showcases the balmy blue, glimmer papered. It showcases that new designer series paper with all the snowflakes on it. It's got the new ribbon that's part of that product suite. And it's kind of a fun fold card, so I'll open it up so you can see it completely. So there it is. Of course, Dawn, being one of my downline members, she loves to decorate the inside of her cards, just so that when you open it up, there's something in there, because no matter how beautiful the front is, you know people are going to open it up. So I love it when there's something on the inside. So thank you, Dawn Michaels. I love your beautiful card. You're so generous, so kind. My next card that I'm going to share with you uses a celebration stamp set that was just this past celebration, so many of you probably have it. And once you see this card, I think you're going to be getting it out and replicating this card. It is super cute. It is from one of my customers, Sherry Myers. Her and her sister Jody get together once a week or once every other week, all through the summer now, to stamp together. And it's just so cute. So get ready for something darling. Here it is. So it uses the stamp set that was called the Gangs All Mirror, which, as you remember, is that celebration stamp set from this past spring. And then she also uses the Daisy Lane stamp set. So the friend is from Daisy Lane. And look at those cute little meerkats. They all have masks on. Isn't that adorable? And then, of course, the medium daisy punch at the bottom, just to give it a cute little accent. And then what I love about this card that Sherry Myers did so well is it's actually a peek through. So when you open it up, you also get this. Isn't it cute? So the outside is actually part of the inside. And then she wrote, because it's the mask card, she wrote, "I miss your smile" on the inside, which I think is just perfect. Just a perfect card. So the smile, the friend, that's from the Daisy Lane stamp set if you want to recreate this card. It's so cute. So thank you, Sherry. Just adorable. I just can't stop looking at it. I love it. All right. The card we're making today, I'll make 2 of them. So to get into the drawing, which I'll do on Thursday, you just have to comment, maybe let me know where you're watching from. Share this with your friends on your timeline. But this is the card. It's Celebrate Sunflowers. I've had lots of people ask me if I was ever going to do a card with Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. Well, today's your lucky day. And Thursday will be as too, because I'll do another one of these cards on Thursday. So here it is. And I'm going to flip the camera down, so just give me a couple of seconds here to get that all done, and then we'll get started. I'm going to start with the color combination that I did, and I picked 3 in colors. So I have, and I love how these coordinate, they're perfect for sunflower cards. So you've got Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, and Bumblebee. Those are the 3 colors that I chose to use to create this card with. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit more about the card. The card looks like this, and I'm going to give you some hints about coloring it. And something that I was really remarkably surprised about, and I'm very excited about, and I'll share that tip with you as well. It says, "Know that you are loved." And then when you open it up, I'm leaving it blank so that you can use it for whatever you want. Of course, it's just a little strip of designer series paper to kind of carry the theme through. But we are using the 2020-2022 new In Color Assortment 6x6 designer series paper pack. And I picked paper from the Misty Moonlight and from the Bumblebee. And I think I just need to show you what the stamp set and the dies look like. So it looks like this. We've got the stamp set here with a few sentiments, some different leaves, some different sizes of sunflowers, and then we have our dies that coordinate with it right here. And as I mentioned, I'll do another one of these sunflower cards on Thursday. If you want to tune in then, my aim is to do that at my normal time, which is 10 a.m., unless I get a lot of good feedback that you prefer 1 o'clock. But I think I'll probably stick with 10 a.m. because that probably works just a little better for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now I want to tell you my big revelation, and I'm going to tell you what it was. So I happen to be at the campground where my husband and I spend a lot of weekends, and I didn't have Whisper White paper with me, right? So how does that happen? Don't ask me. I grabbed the wrong pack of paper. I had thick Whisper White, but I didn't grab the Whisper White. So then I was like, well, crap, I gotta make these cards. So I went ahead and I just decided I would do my my stamping and coloring on thick Whisper White. So then when I got home, I decided to stamp and color on Whisper White, the not thick stuff, just the plain Whisper White. I want to show you the difference of what this looks like. So here is the thick Whisper White. This one right here, colored exactly the same as the regular Whisper White, but when you put it together, let me hold it up really close to the camera. Can you see a difference? Does this not look more vibrant? Maybe it's not going to pick up as much in the camera, but in person, there is a distinct difference. The thick Whisper White looks more vibrant and just holds the color better. Because I've had this done probably 6 weeks already, so you can tell it's not like, you know, I did this one 5 months ago and it's faded. That's not the case at all. These were both done about the same time, about 6 weeks ago. This one is the thick, and this one is the regular Whisper White, and there's a difference. So my theory is if you want something to look a little more regal, a little more rich, I'm gonna, from now on, especially with cutouts, I'm going to be using the thick Whisper White with my Stampin' blends. It looks so beautiful. I just think it turned out better than the regular Whisper White. So that's my tip. If you'd like to try it and just compare it for yourself, I think it's a good little experiment to do just to see if you get the same results that I did. So the first thing that we're going to need is a piece of thick Whisper White paper. I've got some scrap here, and we're going to take our very trusty black ink called Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This is what you want to use if you're using blender pens from Stampin' Up, because the Stampin' blends need to be used with a water-based ink, which is what all of our classic ink pads are. And if you're looking for a black ink pad, it would be this one, the Memento Tuxedo Black. So just stamp that right there. Then you're going to stamp a couple of leaves, 1, 2, and then you're going to cut out and color, or color and cut out, whatever you want to do. I usually cut out oftentimes before I color, but sometimes I do it the other way, just depends. And I will show you how to do this. So I've got a couple here that I stamped in advance, and we're going to use the Just Jade first. And what I like to do is I like to use the darker one first. So I would go in and I would just color in with the darker Just Jade, just where the hash marks are, or wherever Stampin' Up puts lines, because that is a good idea that it wants to be accented there. So that's where I put the darker color. Then I go in with the lighter Just Jade, and I just blend it all together so it looks really nice. And I love using Stampin' blends because I don't feel like I have to be an expert in coloring. As long as I put the dark color down first and then go in with the light, I'm going to get something that looks pretty good. So for the most part, I mean, there are times where I put the dark color on last, as you will see when I do the sunflower. Okay, so there it is. This is my leaf, and here are all my other leaves. I did this in advance, so you wouldn't have to watch me color all 4 leaves. All right, so now let's go ahead and learn how to do the sunflower. I'm not going to color the whole sunflower, but I'm going to give you an idea of how I did it. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using more blends. You purchase these in combo packs. So I would suggest that if you're going to get the sunflower set, these are 3 really good colors to use for coloring the sunflower. So you've got your Just Jade combo pack, your Daffodil Delight combo pack, and then finally your cinnamon, is it cinnamon spice? I can never remember the name. Let me just double check. No, not cinnamon spice. It's cinnamon cider. Oh, one day I will have this right. Cinnamon cider combo pack. However, as far as what we're going to need for the actual sunflower itself, not the leaves, we're going to be using the light and the dark Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to use the dark cinnamon cider. The light we don't need for this particular card. Okay, so what do? I just grab the dark cinnamon cider and I color this, the center of the sunflower. And the little hash marks are already in there, so all you're really doing is just coloring that center section. Pretty easy. Anybody can do it. There it is. It's done. The next thing you want to do, and keep this handy because we're going to actually use this on the flower too. So the next thing you're going to do is take the light or the dark Daffodil Delight, and I use the brush end because it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, and you're just going to brush on dark color, the dark Daffodil Delight, wherever you see those little hash marks. That's all there is to it. So simple, you guys. It's just not hard. So you can whip around these fairly quickly. Now I have to say, I did do quite a few of these. I did 10 because I made these as a top 10 card for my downline for July sales. So I just passed these out last week and I think they loved them. So I'll just do part of this sunflower. So just go ahead and see how I did this? I just took the dark blend, the dark Daffodil Delight blend, and just swished on some color where those hash marks are. Then just take your lighter Daffodil Delight and just finish coloring it out. So it looks like that. Easy peasy and so simple. There you go. You guys get the idea. That's all there is to that. But then the finishing touch, in my opinion, to make this sunflower look like this, you take your dark Daffodil Delight, but this time you take the thin end, open it up, and you are just going to add just a few little details right over the top of where you did. Now you don't want to do too many of them. You just want to add a few little details wherever those darker hash marks are that you put the dark Daffodil Delight on. So it's going to look like that. And doesn't that make an incredible difference in the way the sunflower looks? Again, let me hold it up with a couple that I did in advance so that you can see how much more rich that looks. It's just so much richer. All right, so now, like I said, I wasn't going to bore you too much by just coloring all of that in front of you. So I did get some of these prepped in advance. I'm sure you're happy to know. And then what I do to know where the leaves go is I'm just going to grab some Scotch tape because it's just so easy for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look kind of where do you see where these little leaves here kind of pop up towards the center of the sunflower? Well, that is about where I want to put my leaves. Just off to the edge of where that is, because I kind of want this one that comes down right here to go towards the bottom of my card. So I just put one there, stick it on with tape, take another one of the leaves and just drop that in so it looks like this. And don't worry, it's a little floppy right now, but we're going to put dimensionals on that and it's going to be great. So we're going to do the same thing for these two leaves. Again, I'm just going to grab a little Scotch tape here. And again, I'm just setting this, I'm just kind of looking where these little flowers pop up. And that is about where I'm putting my leaves. Another one right here, so there we are. So we have the leaves attached. Nothing too hard about that. Now, what did I do? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Give me 1 second. I've got to jump across the room here because I left all my card making materials on the counter. So I'll be right back. There. Just want to show you what you all need to do now to assemble. So the first thing we've got are the card bases. This is with Misty Moonlight. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. And we're just going to put the inside panels in to get those out of the way. So we've got 2 panels of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I went ahead and in advance worked with the 2022 in color Bumblebee paper, designer series paper. So I have a 1/2 inch strip by 4 inch along each side. And then I am going to just put these in with Stampin' Seal. Just one little strip along the top. And we'll set this in here, get it out of the way. Do the same thing for this one. Set it in, get it out of the way, and then let's go ahead. We're going to set this aside now because we don't need this for a bit. So now we're going to work with the Misty Moonlight Designer Series paper. And I've got 2 pieces here. Again, it's kind of your standard panel for the front of your card or the inside panel of your card. It is 4 by 5 1/4. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some 1 3/4 inch strips of the Bumblebee Designer Series paper. And we're going to put one over here and one over here. So since I use the wood grain, I'm going to keep the wood grain on kind of the denim look, and I'll keep the denim look over here with the wood grain, just so we have a little variety. And since I have the Stampin' Seal nice and handy, I will use it. But you could as well use your multi-purpose liquid glue or whatever you might have handy. There we go. There's one, and now we'll do the other. I like to set this here because I have these strips longer so that I can trim the edge even with my scissors. And if I put it up right on top of where I'm actually putting it, then I know how far to put the adhesive. And this adhesive, the Stampin' Seal, is actually pretty strong. You probably don't need as much as I'm putting on. If you are more of a conservative type person, you probably only would need to put it here, here, and here. You wouldn't need to do the big long strips, because that is a very good adhesive. It works well. Then just take scissors and trim your edges even. There we go. And then what we need to do is take our denim ribbon. We're just going to cut a little bit wider than where we're going to put it across. And then again, we're just going to put this right at the seam line. So I'm just bringing it up to the top of the Bumblebee, and then we just tape it around on the back. So pretty easy peasy. So I'm getting some comments. Sandy is telling me that she loves the Stampin' Seal. It's nice and strong. And then some people are saying, Susan's saying, well, she still needs to try it. Yeah, I would say, Susan, that when you do try it, there is a learning curve. I'll be able to show you what I did wrong myself for the longest time before I really actually learned how to use it. And I'll show you that in just a minute as I put this on the front of my card, which I'm going to do right now. So if you're brand new to Stampin' Seal, I discovered fairly early on that when you're putting it down, you need to tip it like this to break the seal. And when you do it like that, the Stampin' Seal stays to the end of the roll and it's ready to go the next time. See, just flip it back up. So it's kind of a flip up that you need to do with the Stampin' Seal. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to put this on the front of my card base. I want to make sure that that inside Bumblebee panel is the same pattern as this panel, and so I'm just double checking, and it is. And this is just going to go right here on the front of my card. We'll do the same thing over here, and another chance for me to show you the Stampin' Seal. Just bring it all the way back like this, and you will get a clean cut off, and then it's always ready for you to go the next time. So again, we're just centering this into the center here so that all 4 borders are nice and even. And now we are going to take some dimensionals, and certainly I have them. I do. Once in a while I'm sort of organized. All right. Okay, remember how these were kind of flip-floppy? It doesn't matter because we are going to put dimensionals on those. So one way to get them unflip-floppy is just put the dimensional right where it is floppy, and then you're good to go. So we put a couple there on the leaves to keep them from flopping around, and then we're just adding a few more. And we'll do the same thing over here. Couple more. And I am ready to start a new pack. Don't worry, I won't let these edges go to waste. I just don't want to cut them all down now while I'm doing a Facebook Live. But after the live is over, the next time I'm making a card, I will cut those all down and use them. You can be sure that I use my edges. I was always a little shocked at how many of my customers don't use the edges when it comes to dimensionals. That just really surprised me because the edges work just like the center part. No problem. All right, so here's the first one. We're gonna set this on just like this, I think. Looks good. And we're gonna do the very next thing right here. So let me just grab all these little pieces. One of my downline members, Michelle Rosberg, she told me that she actually takes like a piece of packing tape, puts it over the top of her dimensionals, and then pulls it away. And then all of her dimensionals are exposed, so she don't have to mess around peeling the peelies. And then she takes something like another piece of dimensional paper that already has has already been used up and puts it over the top to keep them from getting stuck to other things. And I've always meant to try that, and I never have. And just as I was doing all that peeling, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should try that tip. How about this? How about I try it, and I'll report back on Thursday when I do my next Facebook Live, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. Oh my gosh, do you realize what I just realized something. I forgot to stamp. I have a little sentiment I want to put on the front of the card. So everybody watching, cross your fingers and toes that I don't mess it up. So I'm going to stamp on an almost fully completed card, and let's hope we do good. So remember, when you're stamping and you don't want to get halos, just go straight down and straight up. How's that? Perfect, isn't it? And straight down, straight up. Okay, so we survived. Thank you for crossing your fingers and toes. I'm sure that helped. All right, and then one last final touch to finish up these cards. I am just going to take a little strip of the denim ribbon, probably 4.5 inches long or so, and then we're going to do a tie-on. So to do a tie-on is so simple, you guys, but I have a lot of people tell me they just don't get it. They don't get how to get that nice knot that you want to have to the top. So I'm going to show you. So you just grab it as if you're tying your shoe, flip it in. And then rather than tightening it right here, put your thumb underneath and flip it. And when you do that, you get your nice little knot to the top. And then trim it up. Whoops, this one got a little goofy. Let me try that again. There we go. See, there's your cute little knot to the top. Okay, one more time. Let me show you. So we're going to take both ends, just like you're tying your shoe, but instead of tightening it once you get it through, put your thumb underneath. I'll stand up. I know you can't see this. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. I'll see if I can do it standing up. this might not happen. Hold on, what can I put underneath? I know, my Kleenex box. That gives my hand someplace to rest, and yet it's closer to the camera. So here it is. Take it like you're going to tie your shoe. Bring it under, but don't tighten it. Put your thumb underneath, like I'm doing right now, and then flip it. And look what happens. You get the nice flat knot to the top, so tighten it, and then I end up kind of going like that. Trim. And look, you have something beautiful. Isn't it pretty? It turned out so good. Okay. So we have come to the conclusion of the video. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of my Facebook Live today. I really appreciate you, and I will be back on Thursday with another sunflower card. And you guys keep on sharing, keep on telling your friends about Stampin' Up! Because it makes a big difference in people's lives. And if you do this purely for relaxation, don't let those cards pile up in your house. Send them to someone. Let your light be the light to someone else. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.